Yes, indeed, we are here at the EIT Urban Mobility stand again at the Tomorrow City. And I'm here with Seleta Reynolds because Gareth had a last-minute issue. He had to leave us here, but we will be sure that we will cover this content somehow at some point. Seleta, welcome. Hello.
Nice to be with you. Hi.
Yeah. Seleta Reynolds, for those of you following the conference online or even here, she was a keynote speaker for Tomorrow Mobility this year, and she is an expert in USA logistics, and she has done a lot of projects on that. Let's go to the first question for you, Seleta, which is about revolution of the market of urban mobility. And to do that, we really need to involve different actors, different stakeholders, and so on. In your opinion, coming with the scope from the USA, what would you say Europe should focus on to make urban mobility more sustainable, faster, efficient, and more for citizens?
Yeah, I think it's a great question because public-private partnership is obviously the name of the game, right? The problems that we face are so intense and steep, whether we're talking about climate or we're talking about social equity. None of us can do it alone. We need each other. But the challenge is that companies have definitely, they have to make a profit. They have a business to run. They need to be able to grow, to hire more people, and all of those things are really good for the cities that we live in. But the government side has a responsibility to the collective good, to the greater good and the policies that we're trying to achieve. And so trying to find and create spaces where we can harmonize those two things is really important. So when I was at the City of Los Angeles, I helped create something called the Open Mobility Foundation, which is an open source foundation where public and private sector actually co-collaborating and building the city APIs of the future in open source. So obviously there is a lot that the private sector can bring to bear. They have technical expertise, they know what they need for their businesses to excel, but the public sector knows what kinds of policy outcomes that they need to see. So for example, if you're a goods movement company, you really need to understand how much does it cost to park at the curb and do your delivery. And if you are a city, what you want to make sure you have is an organized place that you're incentivizing zero emissions delivery, right? That you maybe do by lowering the cost of using the curb. Building out an API that achieves those policy outcomes but gives the companies really certainty and clarity about what's expected of them is where we've seen a lot of success.
And talking about success, you are crossing fingers already for something very, very huge. You're working already on for the Olympic Games 2028.
That's
so
right.
Can you tell us some spoiler things from there?
Yes, I'm so excited to talk about the 28 Games. We're hosting the Olympic and Paralympic Games. Los Angeles and Paris received we're both bidding. Paris got 2024, and I'm very grateful because it gave us some extra time, and LA got 2028. So we are thinking hard about what a huge opportunity it is to have people move around the city differently and have a great experience riding the bus or taking the train or riding their bikes so that they continue to do it after the games are over. Okay. So we're taking advantage of the opportunity to build out miles of protected bike lanes, bus-only lanes, improve all of our light rail stations, and make it easier and more seamless to pay for public transit so that no matter, if you have a credit card, you have cash, you have your Apple Wallet, that it's easy for you to get on and off of public transit, and it's seamlessly connected. So those are some of the things that we're working on, and we're really, really excited to take advantage of that opportunity.
And talking about opportunities, bringing equity into mobility, it's really, really important. We had a project here at the EIT Urban Mobility called Women Empowerment in Urban Mobility. That's so very needed right now to bring equity so everyone can enjoy safe urban mobility transport, safe urban mobility opportunities for everyone. In the end, we are all together and cities should be neutral for everyone to enjoy them. What are the plans from your organization into this? How are you bringing equity into urban mobility?
Well, we are working on a program called Universal Basic Mobility, which is really builds on what we learned from talking to women and girls about their needs, about their need for safety when they're moving on our system, but also about their need to have access to a broad array of choices. So Universal Basic Mobility has 3 parts. It's changing the physical infrastructure, so creating safe places to walk and bike, easy places to get on and off public transit. It's also the provision of those services, so electric vehicle car sharing pods in low-income neighborhoods specifically, and electric bike libraries, but it's also giving people something called a mobility wallet. So this is a debit card with $150 on it that people can use for the transportation needs of their choice. So they can use it for Uber, for Lyft, for taxis, for rideshare, for Amtrak, for Greyhound. And what we've seen is that even though the majority of their trips are on public transit, the majority of their dollars go towards these more expensive services that help close that gap. So there's a story about a mother and a daughter. The mother works a second shift, meaning she starts her work in the afternoon and doesn't finish until late at night. Their car broke down, and her daughter was very worried about her mother having to wait by herself for the bus late at night. And so using the mobility wallet, they were able to call a car to bring her mother home. You think about all of the extra hours of sleep that mother and daughter got, feeling safe, the lowered stress, and just the ease in their lives, that the mother didn't lose her job because she didn't have a reliable way to get there. These are the kinds of things that the government can invest in to really help people access all of the services provided by the private companies.
Yeah, indeed, as you see, thinking mobility wisely, anticipating issues, it's also worthy in the way we ensure mobility in the city is safe and efficient and easy for everyone, no matter the sex, gender, or any other issue. So, Seleta Reynolds, thanks a lot for joining us today.
My pleasure.
And we are going back to you, Nicole, I guess.